Hello Army, welcome back to my channel. Okay, I need you to take a deep breath before we start today, because what I am about to tell you is the kind of story that makes you stop whatever you are doing, put your phone down, pick it back up immediately, and then call every army you know just to scream together. Because something happened after the BTS Tampa concerts that nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody outside of this fandom, saw coming. And even within this fandom, even the people who have been devoted ARMY for years, even the ones who know exactly how powerful Jimin is on a stage, even they were not fully prepared for the scale of what unfolded once those Tampa shows ended and the world got a chance to process what it had just witnessed. So today we are talking about Jimin. We are talking about Tampa. We are talking about what happens when one of the most gifted performers alive walks onto an American stadium stage for the first time in 4 years and absolutely, completely, and without apology, owns it. But before we get into all of it, if you are new here, welcome to the channel. We are your home for everything BTS, everything ARMY, and everything that matters in the world of the 7 men who somehow manage to surprise us every single time we think we already know how great they are. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and do not go anywhere, because this story has layers and every single one of them is worth your time. Okay. Let us talk about what ParkJimin did in Tampa, Florida, and what happened after. So first, the concerts themselves, because the context of what Jimin did on that stage is essential to understanding why the reaction was so massive. The BTS Arirang World Tour hit Raymond James Stadium in Tampa across 3 nights, April 25th, April 26th, and April 28th. These were the first North American shows of the entire tour. The first time BTS stood on a stage in the United States since their permission to dance on stage run in Las Vegas back in April 2022. 4 years of waiting. 4 years of solo projects, military service, counting down, and holding on. And when BTS finally arrived in Tampa, they did not ease back in. They came in at full force, full production, full emotional impact, and full performance energy. All 7 members. All the history. All the love. And 60,000 ARMY inside that stadium every single night ready to receive every single bit of it. Now when you talk about the Tampa concerts as a whole, every member delivered. That is the honest truth and it needs to be acknowledged. This was BTS operating as a complete unit and the collective power of all 7 members on that 360-degree stage was something genuinely extraordinary. But something specific happened with Jimin across those nights in Tampa that went beyond even the already incredibly high standard he has set for himself over years of live performance. Something clicked in Tampa. Something was unleashed. And the 60,000 people inside that stadium felt it immediately, and then the rest of the world felt it through every fan video and every live tweet and every trending chart that followed. Jimin stepped onto that stage with his trademark flowing long blonde hair, wearing a new outfit that was slightly lighter than the costumes that had already earned him the title of Northern Duke in previous tour stops, and from the very first moment he appeared, the aura he projected was what fans immediately described as godlike. That is not an exaggeration from overexcited fans. That is a consistent description from thousands of independent accounts from people who were physically present in that stadium. The way Jimin holds a stage, the way his presence expands to fill whatever space he is in, the way your eyes are drawn to him not because he is doing something louder than everyone else but because there is something magnetic and almost gravitational about the way he moves and the way he exists in performance mode, it was all operating at an entirely different level in Tampa. He opened with Hooligan and Run BTS, immediately establishing his presence with perfect dance lines that reminded 60,000 people exactly why Jimin's technique has been discussed and praised by dance professionals and fans alike for years. But it was not just technique. Technique without soul is empty, and what Jimin brings to live performance is that rare combination of absolute technical precision and genuine emotional depth that makes watching him feel like more than entertainment. It feels personal. It feels like a conversation between performer and audience. It feels like he is sharing something real every single time he steps in front of a crowd. And then came the moment that broke the internet. During the FYA performance, a section of the show without fixed choreography, Jimin delivered a freestyle dance that fancam videos captured and shared across social media, surpassing millions of views almost overnight. Now if you have ever seen Jimin freestyle, you already understand why this is significant. Because Jimin freestyling is not Jimin doing whatever comes naturally in a casual way. Jimin freestyling is Jimin channeling something that feels entirely instinctive and entirely extraordinary at the same time. Every movement is fluid and deliberate simultaneously. Every transition makes sense in a way that you cannot quite explain, but your body understands immediately. Watching Jimin freestyle is like watching someone speak a language you did not know you understood. And Tampa got to see that, live, in a stadium, with 60,000 witnesses. And the camera captured it. And the internet saw it. And America had absolutely no idea what had just hit them. On the second night, Jimin added another unforgettable moment when he showcased his iconic body roll choreography during the impromptu Pied Piper stage, completely captivating the audience all over again. Because with Jimin, it is never just one moment. It is a series of moments, one building on the next, each one giving you something new to hold on to while you are still processing the last one. By the end of night 2 in Tampa, the people inside that stadium were not just fans who had attended a concert. They were people who had experienced something. Something that would stay with them. And they knew it. There was also a genuinely beautiful human moment during the first night that went quietly viral in the best possible way. A young fan in the audience was wearing a custom t-shirt that read "Jimin, my name is Jimin too," and the camera caught it during the concert. That small moment, a child in a crowd of 60,000 people connecting their own name to the performer on the stage, captures something true about what Jimin means to people. He is not just a celebrity to his fans. He is someone they feel a genuine connection to. Someone whose name carries warmth and meaning. And seeing a child proudly wearing that message on a shirt is exactly the kind of thing that makes you understand why this fandom is as devoted as it is. But here is where the story gets even bigger. Because everything that happened inside Raymond James Stadium was just the beginning. What happened after the concerts, in the hours and days that followed, is what turned Tampa from a great concert story into something that the entire entertainment world was paying attention to. Immediately after the concert concluded, Jimin became the most trending individual male artist in the United States on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, in the music category, absolutely dominating the trending charts. Not trending in the K-pop category. Not trending in the international music category. Trending across all of American music. Against every artist, every genre, every cultural moment happening simultaneously in the United States. And Jimin was at the top. And it was not just one trending topic. The numbers that started coming in were staggering. More than 9 keywords related to Jimin were simultaneously trending on US Twitter. 9 separate conversations, 9 separate hashtags, 9 separate points of viral engagement, all happening at the same time, all centered on ParkJimin, all radiating outward from what he had done on that Tampa stage. Stage Commander Jimin was trending. Jamaica Jimin Land was trending. Main Dancer Jimin was trending. Best Vocalist Jimin was trending. Jimin with Love USA was trending. ParkJimin was trending. OMG Jimin was trending. Jimin was trending. One man. One stage. 9 trending topics simultaneously across the entire United States. If that does not communicate the scale of what happened in Tampa, I do not know what will. And then came the chart that sent ARMY into complete meltdown mode. Jimin was confirmed as being among the top 3 most trending artists across all of America, sitting right next to Michael Jackson, whose new film had just generated enormous mainstream attention, and BTS as a group. Michael Jackson. BTS. And Jimin, individually, as a solo trending force powerful enough to sit alongside the king of pop himself in the American cultural conversation. Let that sink in for a moment. Because I think sometimes, even as ARMY, we can become so accustomed to the remarkable things that these 7 men accomplish that we start to normalize what is actually extraordinary. And this is not normal. This is not something that happens. An individual Korean artist, trending as a solo entity alongside Michael Jackson in the United States, on the strength of a live concert performance, is a cultural moment of genuine historical significance. And the fan reaction was immediate and overwhelming. Jamaica, a portmanteau that ARMY has been using for years to describe the love affair between Jimin and his American fans, suddenly felt more real and more validated than ever before. Messages were flooding in from American Army who had attended the Tampa shows, saying that they had been trying to tell people for years that Jimin's live stage presence was something categorically different from other performers, and that Tampa had finally given the wider world the undeniable proof they needed. International Army who had been following the tour from home were watching the trending charts in real time and losing their minds. Jimin fan accounts were hitting retweet counts and view numbers that were breaking their own previous records. And media outside of the K-pop world started paying attention too. Because 9 simultaneous trending topics and a top 3 position on the US trending chart sitting next to Michael Jackson is a story that crosses genre boundaries. That is a music industry story. That is a cultural story. And journalists and entertainment reporters who might not normally cover K-pop were suddenly writing about ParkJimin and trying to explain to their audiences exactly who this person is and why 60,000 people in a Florida stadium had apparently just made him one of the most talked about performers in the entire country. The answer, of course, is the same answer Army has been giving for years. Jimin is a complete performer in the truest sense of the word. He is a trained dancer of exceptional technical ability who also has genuine vocal talent and a stage presence that is almost impossible to adequately describe in words. He is someone who approaches every performance with a level of intentionality and emotional investment that the audience can feel from the first row and apparently from fancam clips watched on a phone screen anywhere in the world. He is someone who treats every single concert as though it is the most important performance of his life, because for him, it genuinely seems to be. There is also something specific about the way Jimin connects with American audiences that deserves a moment of attention. Because Jimerica is a real phenomenon, and it is not just Army who feel it. There is something about Jimin's particular performance style, the combination of fluid contemporary dance technique, the emotional expressiveness, the way he makes eye contact with cameras and with individual fans in the crowd, that resonates deeply with American concert culture. American audiences have a long tradition of loving performers who give everything on stage, who leave nothing in reserve, who make you feel like the performance was specifically and personally for you. And Jimin does all of that, at an elite level, in a stadium setting, consistently and reliably. Tampa was not a fluke. Tampa was Jimin being exactly who he always is, on the biggest North American stage he has had access to in 4 years, in front of 60,000 people who were ready for it. Even Billboard, one of the most prestigious music publications in the world, noted in their review of the Tampa concerts that Jimin and Jungkook brought a distinct elegance to every controlled movement, standing out even within the already extraordinary performance quality of BTS as a whole. When Billboard is singling you out by name in a review of a 7-member group concert and describing your movement quality as elegant and distinct, that is industry-level recognition of something genuinely exceptional. And the freestyle moment. I want to come back to the freestyle moment because I think it deserves more attention than it has gotten in the broader conversation. Because what Jimin did during FYA was not a scripted performance. It was not rehearsed choreography that had been workshopped in a practice room for months. It was Jimin, in the moment, in front of 60,000 people, creating something from nothing, expressing something that cannot be written down or planned in advance. And the millions of people who watched that fan cam footage in the hours after the concert responded to it the way they did because they could feel that authenticity. They could feel that the movement was real. That it was coming from somewhere genuine inside the performer. That is the rarest possible quality in live entertainment, and Jimin has it in abundance. The North American leg of the Arirang World Tour still has so many dates ahead. El Paso is next, then Mexico City, then Stanford, Los Angeles, Seattle, Chicago, Atlanta, New York, Boston, Toronto, Vancouver. 31 shows across 12 cities. 31 more opportunities for the rest of America and North America to experience what Tampa experienced. And based on everything that happened in Florida over those 3 nights, and based on the way those trending charts exploded the moment the concerts ended, you get the sense that what happened in Tampa is just the very beginning of what this tour is going to mean for Jimin's legacy in the United States. Jimerica, it turns out, was never just a hashtag. It was a prediction. And Tampa just made it come true. If this video gave you all the Jimin feelings you needed today, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you are subscribed because we are going to be following every single stop of this tour and every moment that ParkJimin creates along the way. Drop a comment and tell me which trending moment hit you the hardest. Was it the freestyle? Was it seeing his name next to Michael Jackson on that chart? Was it the 9 simultaneous trending topics? Let me know everything, because this community is the reason I love making this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one, and as always, purple you. Purple heart.